Caitlin Clark's rookie season has been the perfect fuel on a fire for a new WNBA era. Nearly 20 years ago, Conrad Picarillo attended his first Indiana Fever game. The WNBA franchise was just 5 years into its existence and on the brink of its best year to date, but he admittedly was not there for the basketball. His daughters, 10-year-old Caitlin and 11-year-old Claire, were members of the Fever Inferno's youth dance team, and he was there to cheer them on during their performances. Eventually, his daughters aged out of the dance troupe, but by that point, Picarillo was hooked. He bought 6 season tickets and invited friends, reveling in the Fever's 2012 WNBA championship. Yet, when the Fever hit hard times with consistent losing records for nearly a decade, Picarillo found it harder to convince friends to join him at Fever games in his free courtside seats. Flash forward to 2024, and he hasn't had that problem again thanks to Caitlin Clark. His cohort is part of the legion of fans who have made Fever games the hottest ticket in the WNBA. He attended all but one game at Gainbridge Fieldhouse this season, soaking in the energy and environment as he watched waves of fans fall in love with the Fever and the WNBA the same way he did. "I think she's the perfect fuel on a fire that had been really growing," Picarillo said about Clark. Clark's rookie season marks a new era not only for the Fever franchise, but also the city of Indianapolis, the state, and the WNBA. Clark was a spectacle at Iowa, unlike any one women's college basketball has ever seen, with her logo threes and competitive fire. The WNBA and the Fever, who had the no one draft pick, hoped her dazzle and appeal would carry over to provide a similar spark for the league. As the playoffs began Sunday, even with an opening loss by the Fever at Connecticut, the payoff for banking on Clark is evident on TV, in the stands, and in the marketplace. Before Clark even stepped on the court in a Fever jersey, she surpassed expectations. Only once in the 2000s had a WNBA game garnered 2.4 million viewers on TV, but on draft night, even more fans tuned in to watch the league commissioner call Clark's name. Since then, Clark has continued to help the Fever and WNBA smash television records. 6 different league television partners set viewership records this year for its highest viewed WNBA game, and all 6 included the Fever. ION, which broadcasts 43 WNBA games, experienced a 133% increase in viewership year over year, and each of its 7 broadcasts that topped 1 million viewers included Fever games. Per Yahoo Sports, NBA TV set its own WNBA viewership record 8 times this season, each of those a Fever game. ESPN, a longtime WNBA partner, had its most successful year of broadcasting the league. The first regular season Feather Sky game, with Clark and rookie rival Angel Reese taking center stage, marked the most viewed WNBA game in 23 years across any network, with 2.35 million viewers. That record was broken a month later when the WNBA All-Star Game brought in a hopping 3.4 million viewers, making it the 3rd most watched WNBA game in history. But it's at Fever home games where the buzz is palpable. Attendance in Indianapolis hit a record high, 17,036 per home game, to lead the league in attendance for the first time. Fever season ticket sales were already on the uptick, but when Clark announced in February that she was forgoing her 5th season of college eligibility, demand for Fever tickets became unprecedented. According to Across the Timeline, the Fever hadn't been in the top half of WNBA average attendance since 2016. Picarillo, the longtime Fever season ticket holder, now wears earplugs inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and his Apple Watch frequently notifies him during games that the decibels he experiences could be reaching damaging levels. "It is like watching Pacers playoff games. That's how loud it is," he said. "In my mind, I think it's even louder." It wasn't just in Indiana where Clark bumped attendance. Before the season started, 4 Fever opponents, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Washington, and Los Angeles, moved at least one of their home games against Indiana to larger arenas to accommodate more fans. Tamika Catchings, a Hall of Fame forward who spent her entire 14-year career with the Fever, still lives in Indianapolis. She was excited last season when Indiana, led by 2023 now, one pick earlier Boston, experienced an 8-win increase. But last year to this year is insane. How much energy is around, she said.